Okay, well, welcome to Action Sports Europe. Today we have Jonathan Weaver, who's team manager for Europe for Nike 6.0. Here we're discussing about the importance of online presence for athletes, following on from our interview with Christopher Hansen, who's discussing it from an agent's perspective. But today Jonathan is going to give us a perspective from a brand perspective. So, Jonathan, welcome.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here.
No worries. Yeah, so from your own perspective then, obviously working for Nike 6.0, looking at it from a brand's angle, why is a strong online presence important for your team of athletes?
Well, I think the whole internet game has kind of changed everything up for athletes now because, say, a few years ago, it was like, as a rider, you were kind of like, your choices were, what am I going to do in my season? Contests, and are you going to pay for me to be in a video? And that was pretty much it. And now it's like riders can literally take it upon themselves and say, well, maybe I'll do some contests. You're not going to pay for me to be in a video, but I can pretty much make my own videos online. I can have my own content put out there in my own way. And it's a way for riders to actually give their personality to the world, you know, without them being at every single event throughout the world. I mean, I gave the examples in that piece I wrote for Onboard a while ago. You know, the Helgersons is the perfect example. I mean, obviously Haldor did super good winning X Games, but, you know, remember he had the Helgersons written in his moustache up here, so all the kids went and checked out, and then all of a sudden they got to see his personality as well. And I think that's the great thing that, you know, an online presence can give. It can show how the rider's personality is, which is something until now which has been only portrayed through video parts.
Sure. And you recently wrote on your blog, The Good Life, and I remember at the title, where the internet has killed the video star. I mean, do you think that the growth in social media and platforms like YouTube and Vimeo, and as you say, that these guys can go off and create their own video, do you think that the prestige of being in a killer production video will become less important?
I mean, I think like 3 or 4 years ago, we saw it kind of, there was an overload of videos. And it was basically around the time when everyone could afford to buy a laptop and a camera and editing equipment. And all of a sudden there was, from each country, 5 videos, and people were like, oh, okay. I think we've kind of seen a slow up in that a bit, which has been good. But throughout, you know, you've still maintained the top videos like Standard, like MacDog, etc. Those guys have been a step above the rest. So you'll always have that kind of very top premium, you know, whereas if you get the Ender in Standard like Torsten did this year, you know, you are very much like still a cut above the rest. But it just means that now kind of the middle ground rider can definitely push their way towards the top by having, you know, by doing online stuff. But I mean, with regards to that thing, you know, did internet kill the video star? I thought about it again, and I just watched Eurogap last week.
Right.
And when I watched that, I actually thought, damn, I could write another title this week calling it did internet create the video star? Because with Eurogap, you see, you know, all of a sudden, you know, there's a couple of riders in there maybe people haven't heard of so much, like Nicky Corpora or something. All of a sudden, they're on a top quality video, where maybe they wouldn't have had the chance to film with, you know, MacDog or People or someone like this, but they're in a top quality film. And so it is very interesting that now you have got the opportunity to be, you know, either online with your own blog or in a video, which is top quality and can stand alongside the top videos, without being paid to be in a snowboard movie. So,
sure. I mean, the one thing that when you watch competitions, and obviously you have a winner, a second place, and a third place, you always assume that, you know, the winners are the most talented. They're the best snowboarders around, and they kind of have a deserved following as a result of being the best. But do you think that we're now seeing that you can get a very average snowboarder who has a very strong personality actually make a better career out of snowboarding or action sports? And ability now is maybe less important. It's more important about your persona, your personality, and maybe your online following.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think to a certain extent you can get to a certain level and you can create a great following by an image. And with Forum 5-6 years ago, you know, they had Travis Kennedy and they made him into this kind of, you know, that was all the hype at the time, the kind of gangster guy, and the hip hop was in every scene. You know, and the image was created around him, but then there comes a point where sooner or later you have to do something credible, you know, which can stand toe to toe with the top riders, or else the brand and the kids are kind of like, oh, this guy's kind of just a hype and nothing backing it up. So, you know, you still do need something, but, you know, that can also be video parts. It doesn't necessarily have to be the contest results. But I mean, I think, you know, in snowboarding, you've always had that. You've always had like the kind of, you know, the guy who's won every contest, like Stefan Gimpel. Maybe he's not the most famous and, you know, followed guy, but he's definitely very successful. Versus, who's another? I mean, you can't really say Giggy. I mean, Giggy's won everything as well, but, you know, he's been up there, you know, just putting out video parts, and he's got a fantastic image. And so that's the side. You have, you know, the image and the content guy against the contest guy. And I think you've always had that, you know, as far back as you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even go back to...
like the surfing, you got the free riders, and you got the Kelly Slaters, you got Rasto, you got Kelly Slater.
Yeah.
Kind of yeah.
I think the thing is, though, in surfing, you kind of seem to have to... You have to have kind of done the whole contest thing first, to a certain level to get out of it, you know. So like Rob Machado, he's done all that, and now he's kind of one level above. But then, you know, you see that with snowboarding as well. I mean, Nicholas Muller, it's like... I was talking to someone the other day and they're like, oh, he's so, you know, he's the core snowboarder, da-da-da-da-da. And a lot of people don't even know that 5-6 years ago he was winning every contest he went to. You know, you kind of have to do that. It's like doing an internship at a company. You have to do the internship before you can get the top job. And I think that's what a few of the, you know, that's what a lot of riders are doing now. You have to kind of get the contest level, and then after that you can go on from there.
So to put you on the spot then, what do you think, with all the digital options available and all the various social media platforms available online for the athletes to build up a presence, what do you think is more important now, contest or personality?
The dream scenario would be you go out, you win the contest, you come back, you upload some video or some pictures onto your blog, and then you click it onto Facebook, and then all those kids who are just typing your name into Facebook and searching you out. I mean, Germund is a good example. When he won Freestyle CH, he got back to his hotel room 2 hours after the event had finished, and he had like hundreds of friend requests. Then he, you know, put some pictures on his blog. Boom, all those people go straight there. That would be the dream ticket, you know, because, I mean, people want to know more about the people behind the riders, or, you know, the personality behind the rider.